Okay, I think most of the people have already joined. So let us start with the session. Hey everyone, welcome to this exciting session, and we are going to dive deep into the world of data analytics and explore the past, present, and future of one of the most powerful visualization tools in the industry, Power BI. I am Arun, and today we have a very distant owner with us who is really an expert and has over 20 years of experience in data analytics, Amit Chandak. I will provide a very small introduction of Amit before moving ahead. Amit has 20 years of experience and he's a data analytics professional with over 22 decades of experience in the industry. As a Microsoft MVP and an active member of Power BI community, his contribution and expertise have left a very lasting impact on countless data enthusiasts. To be very honest, I have been watching his videos since last few months, and I was very amazed and surprised to see that how can someone make it very easy to understand, like Power BI, you name it, and all the functions are there in his videos. Microsoft Fabric, even when it was launched in March 2023. If you visit his YouTube profile, you will find each and everything about Microsoft Fabric or Power BI use cases. So dive deep into the world of. So I would actually request Amit to take it from here and would request to Amit, please introduce yourself. And our audience would actually like to know about how you embarked on your data analytics journey and what sparked your profession and passion for Power BI and related analytics.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thanks, Arun. Thanks for the introduction. Uh, um, it is a pleasure meeting you, all of you, on a Sunday morning. Thanks for taking out the time. I started my data analytics journey 20 years back when I joined my first job in Oracle. So I started with a team known as Daily Business Intelligence, and that time Oracle and Larry Ellison has a vision that all the ERP sales should have start with a dashboard in the front, what values the ERP going to add. And I think today that's truth. So I stayed there for in Oracle for 6 years. I worked with the tools like DBI. Then Oracle acquired Siebel Business Analytics, and we do worked on that. Then when it became OBIE, I left Oracle in 2009 and joined hands with one of my friend who is a founder of a BI company and co-founded that. And we worked almost for 10 years. We created our own BI tool, and we have created a lot of values around that. Uh, Now in 2018, 19, I decided to come out and back into the corporate world, and that's where I started, working on Power BI and Tableau, and that's how my Power BI journey started. Now, for Power BI journey, I started looking for the content, and I found that when you have issues, you can go to community.powerbi.com and can ask the questions. I went to community for one of my issues, but I found that it's a good way to learn. If you answer the question, and if you don't know, just mark that question for your reference, and then when somebody solves it, just go and look at how they've solved it. And I start solving the problem. And in 2020 January, I became Microsoft Power BI community super user, and I continued my contribution to the community. And I am a Microsoft community super user since 2020. Then in 2022, I became Microsoft most valuable professional in the data platform area for my contribution on the Power BI community, using the solutions which I provided, videos, webinars, and various other activities I've done. So this is how my data analytics journey has started, and finally, and right now I'm working on Power BI in that journey.
That's very wonderful to hear, Amit, and that's really very inspiring. Like as a someone who is working in Power BI since last few years, I am also thinking of like doing a lot to the community and becoming an MP. But I think it is going to take a lot of effort from my side and from like in terms of helping out people as much as I can. So I'm willing to do that. And I will move on to like the next question which I have for you. Like since you have worked and you have experience of about 20 years in data analytics, I would like to know from you like which one is the most exciting projects you have worked in the past related to Power BI again, and where Power BI actually played a pivotal role in driving the impactful decision for that client or for a project or a company?
I think I've done quite a few analytics project, more than I think 50 plus analytics greenfield implementation I've done, and quite a few of them belongs to Power BI. And in Power BI, we have done a lot of complex implementation, and one of those implementation was there for a large healthcare manufacturer, which basically had a lot of data coming from different sources. So we have integrated all those data, and then we have presented it on Power BI, created dashboard from top management, from CEO, CFO, till the manager and operations level. So it was a great learning, because how analytics can provide end-to-end visibility across the different areas. Basically, you have different ERPs. They might not have same kind of metadata structure. They might not have same kind of master data. But in analytics, you go ahead and unify that journey. You as a implementation team take up that challenge, even if the master data management is not done, or things are challenging. You still try to put things together and make sure that there is an integrated enhanced experience is available for the end user. So these kind of projects I've done, and especially in Power BI, that given real success. On top of that, Power BI has really intuitive UIs, drill down capabilities, and integration with paginated report, which provide you end to end journey experience.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Amit. And Power BI actually releases a lot of upgrades and enhancement every quarter in its quarterly release. So how do you stay up to date with the latest trends and advancements in Power BI world? And what is it like that you can have for the guiding the new people who are actually thinking of learning Power BI, and how they can stay up to date with the latest trends? What is the easiest way of doing it?
So actually, Power BI releases 11 times in a year. Power BI desktop updates comes, or Power BI update comes 11 times in a year. And that's too much basically if you are a fresher and looking for a tool which actually releases every month. Means January is the only month when we don't get a release, but every other month we have a new release. Now to keep up to date, what I've done is, one is basically there's a Microsoft Power BI channel. I have subscribed to that. So anytime something new comes in on that channel, I get a message. Similarly, I have subscribed to blog.powerba.com, which again, the latest release notes will come to that. Other than that, I have created a Medium blog, and same is available on community also, where I have listed down all the links which you as a Power BI enthusiast need. And that contains all the people who are doing community service. Most of the channels which are there, means my based on my limited knowledge, whatever channels I found out, whatever channels I am referring, I have pinged that. So there could be more channels which you guys are watching that might not be part of the list. If you point out to me, I'll add that, but that contain a comprehensive list where you will get the new release, where are the previous version, where are what are the various channels. There are quite a few full videos, including my own videos, which are recently released for last 1 year. So I've also listed down all those full videos, so that you can go ahead and take the advantage and enhance your Power BI journey. And what I'll do is, while we are talking, I'll paste that link in the chat window, so that you can bookmark that. So now you don't have to bookmark too many links. You can only bookmark one link, and uh, can make sure that you have all the information what you need.
Thank you so much, Amit, for again providing this information and pasting those links. I think it is really helpful for people who are actually thinking of learning Power BI and want to stay up to date with the latest enhancements and the updates. Since we are talking about Power BI, and you just mentioned that Power BI releases the updates and the enhancements 11 times in a year. So over in the last 15 years, how Power BI has evolved, and what significant changes have you observed in the functionality of Power BI? Like I read it somewhere in one of the blog posts that Power BI was actually a enhanced version of Power components of Power Microsoft Excel, which included like Power Pivot and Power Queries and a few more components inside it.
See, Microsoft for long is having, different kind of BI tool, and it all started with, SSIS, SSRS, and, services around SQL Server where they were providing. Then, what they have done is they started enhancing things around Excel, where they bring in Power Query, Power Pivot, Power Charts, and all those.
Yeah.
Now, around 2013, they decided that, there is a there's a combined better tool or better experience is required, and that's where they release the beta of Power BI, or the preview of the Power BI. And in July 2015 is when the first version of Power BI was released. And since then, Power BI has gone long way. From a tool from inception, it has gone long way. You have long list of enhancement which has come to Power BI. And I'm using it for like say 2018, 19, and I see a lot of things have changed. There is something known as ideas.powerbi.com where people log in idea, people log in challenges, and Power BI do listen to them and prioritize that other than what they're having in their own plan of or scheme of things for every release. And Power BI has become number one BI tool in this journey. And today, with the introduction of Microsoft Fabric and Power BI becoming part of that, it is becoming a integrated suite for us. So now, not no more a platform; it becomes that end-to-end suite which you can use for your data analytics journey.
Yes, Amit, and somewhere I also feel that a Power BI somewhere down the line has transformed into an like entire ecosystem rather than just a tool, and it is actually enabling the integration between existing corporate BI systems in self-service BI. I also read it like, in one of the blog posts that Power BI is actually a citizen developer tool, and uh, like it has become so popular that I think I in the next coming 5 years everyone like be it a receptionist or be like lower level jobs or upper level jobs, everyone should be using Power BI in some sort of manner, correct?
Yeah. So what right now is happening is we are moving towards an era of low code, no code. Now,
Yep.
if you're a very initial developer anyway, because see, if you're a developer whom the Power BI has, developer team has given you already data model, you don't need to know. You just drag and drop, slice and dice, and you can go ahead with that. Now, with the introduction of machine learning and NLP, which is in place, and we are talking about Copilot in the era, and more and more this one, what would happen? These boundaries even will simplify. Like you will bring in an Excel data or something, and you can say, okay, uh, can you model it? Okay, these are my things. Can you provide a model to it? In future, those kind of model would be built by just using the natural language, and that's the time when what you are talking will become true. Where you don't need to have a knowledge about data modeling. You don't need to even knowledge about how to create complex measures and all those. NLP will do it. Even today we have something known as major suggestions where you can create complex measure by just giving a text or natural language to Power BI. So these are the steps which will move in the future, and it will become more and more no code kind of a platform where you can do most of the things just by asking the system, okay, I bought this data, do this, do this, do this. Or maybe in future you say, I have a SQL server, can you connect? And it will ask, okay, what is the connection name, what is this? And then it will be very intuitive system where you're just giving it to a chat window, and then it's generating everything on for you in the backend.
That's very amazing, and I would like to see that part where the Gen prompts will be able to do most of our tasks, so that there is a better productivity in terms of like if we want to complete like 4 to 5 projects in a month, then we will be able to do it using those chat prompts. I think so, but let's actually move to the next question, which so we are talking about the emergence of new technologies, right? So do we see like augmented reality or virtual reality or like chat GPT? Do these applications like really have a potential applications for Power BI in these areas? Or like what is your thought on like application of these new emergence of these technologies in Power BI?
I think Chat GPT is something which is basically from OpenAI, and Microsoft is one of the investors in OpenAI, and that's where you see all the Microsoft tools are getting integrated with OpenAI's Chat GPT or the versions of the Chat GPT in and out, and that's where you have major suggestions also coming in. And same way it will continue to enhance to reach what stage we have discussed previously. Now, augmented reality is something where you will have you can tag, and I think this has been shown. I think some time back, I remember there was a video where they've shown how can you tag a particular position in your office, a dashboard, and these things will vision when you go to a particular location, you will see, okay, this is the dashboard of this location. So all these things will very soon become a reality where if you are when you go to, let's say, your meeting room, at that meeting room, you tag the dashboard. Okay, this is the dashboard which should come on the meeting room and that day and something like that. So when I go and then it should, maybe the projector should start showing or your mobile should start showing that kind of dashboard for that particular location. All those things are coming and they will enhance the, user experience to next level. So not only citizen developer will be able to do it, but the user experience will be enhanced using these things. Maybe you wear a, VR, and then you will be able to, not see the entire uh, analytics as a story which has been created in Power BI by citizen developers. The data story basically.
So, Amit, basically, how do you envision the role of Power BI in shaping the data-driven decisions for an organization in the next years to come? Like we are talking about augmented reality here, virtual reality here, and everything, right? So, how do you like envision the role of Power BI in the next few years? And how do you see like as a Power BI developer, what all things should we focus on right nowadays? Like, do we really need to learn data science, AI, ML, the ChatGPT, and everything in order to be maybe contribute to the requirements which we need to build for the clients or anyone?
See, in the era of data analytics or AI, we are living in the era of data. Means entire, if you ask me ChatGPT how it's created based on data. So we are living in a data-driven decision making. Now, some of the decision machine is already taking, like ChatGPT is taking, you ask some question, you ask a dashboard, it gives you. Most of the time, you will find that it's really amazing how it's look like. Like, day before yesterday, I given it as a table and I said, okay, go ahead and divide it into, a star schema, give me this dimension and give me a ETL code, which will finally populate the dimension keys into my fact table. And it is able to create that. Then I said, okay, I want keys to be generating using UUID, not the identity column, and it do able to change that code. So what is happening, now for now this is, a double-edged sword. If you become too much dependent on the technology,
Yep.
you may not able to learn all those art. And like I know the exact question because I've done that manually. Now I know I need to ask ChatGPT to do it like that.
Right.
So as a current generation who's coming out where ChatGPT can help you a lot, it becomes really important that you go back to the basic and learn technology like database, SQL, Power BI, or any BI tool, or understand how the business intelligence works basically, and how it can help in decision making, and then slowly enhance your skill set towards AI and machine learning and AI and how those things works. But in nowhere you can be just dependent on technology. You need to become a subject matter expert. So if you think, okay, my problem today can be solved by Chat GPT and let it solve, and tomorrow, let's say, when the co-pilot for the Power BI, become really popular in 2 3 years, because Microsoft is coming out with co-pilot for everything now. So
Yep.
so you may find, oh, easy, I can do it. But knowing those basics would really be important, because if you're not a subject matter expert, you will not be able to decide whether this is correct or not. And even if it's correct, is it the best way to do it? That can only come if you go back to the basics, learn those technology in depth, and make sure you continue to enhance your knowledge base of doing those things by hand. So while you can go ahead and take help from Chat GPT to learn certain things, but make sure whatever it is giving, you're learning it back. So next time for the same question, you should know the way I can do it. And to the best way, go ahead and try to solve as many problems as you can, so that you became a subject matter expert.
Yes, Amit, and asking the right question in like is something which is always required and expected from a data professional. If you're not asking the right questions from these tools, then the answer will not also be not correct. Since you are talking about a lot of BI tools, how do you see like the other tools coming to the picture, and will they be able to overcome Power BI in the next few years, like Tableau, QuickSight, or MicroStrategy, and a few more other tools in the market like TIBCO, Spotfire? Well, like,
See,
what is
the BI world is full of BI tools, and for last 20 years, I've seen tools going, taking place, changing every 2 3 years and 5 years. I've seen dominance of business object. I've seen dominance of Cognos. I've seen dominance of ClickSense, uh, ClickView, and not ClickSense, not ClickView has dominated market for quite some time, then Tableau, and then Power BI. Now, Power BI for last 4-5 years had established that dominance and continue to do that. And with Microsoft Fabric coming in, they want to take this experience to the next level. So while there like seems like the challenges are not there, but it is always that new technologies will emerge out in future and they will create their own space. It's a dynamic space. So back to the basics, we need to know basics. Tool can change. Microsoft may come up with the next generation tool which could be much more better than Power BI or much more faster. We don't know. So it could, this is always a variable. This is always a variable in industry for last 20 years. So this will remain a variable. But if we are back to the basics, how this entire process works, how the decision making is going to be there, along with the new things which is coming in AI and BI area, we will be able to learn any such new tools and will be able to drive decision making using those.
That actually makes a lot of sense, Amit, and thank you for sharing sharing your stand on the Microsoft Power BI and other tools. And recently, like Microsoft had also launched Microsoft Fabric, and what is like the audience might not be aware of it. So we will like to know from you like what is Microsoft Fabric and what is the future of it when it comes to storing our data on lake houses and data warehouses. Is it really going to replace the Azure Synapse?
Okay, so what Microsoft is working on these technology evolution for quite some time, and the recent addition to that is Microsoft Fabric. Now, what happens? Those who are from the BI world and know a little bit of BI, you know, in the BI world, we have a very famous dialogue in one of the Hindi movies. What is required for the success of a movie? So they say entertainment, entertainment. And in the BI world, we used to do copy, copy, and copy. So we bring the data, we could create a copy in data lake. We take the data lake copy and create another copy in our data warehousing staging. We massage or transform the data and do the data preparation, create another copy of transformed data in data warehouses.
Yes.
Then most of the BI tool prefers the import mode, where basically the BI tool imports, BI tool stores the data in their own format, and we will have another copy of the data. So this copy is something which is driving our success, and it creates so much of data management around it that how many copies we have, we also don't know. Okay. So there are copies, so the entire process of this integration of analysis and one source of truth was somewhere getting diluted because of these copies which we are creating because of the processes. So that's where Microsoft came up with this Microsoft Fabric. And in the Microsoft Fabric, what they have done beautifully is basically they have created this integrated environment. And I like to share my screen to show you that. So let me try to share my screen. Just give me a second. And for those of you who are pretty new to this world, I know this would be a little bit challenging, but something which you should, I'm trying to share with you. I'm not sure we can share. I don't have a share his permission. Can you see? I can get a share permission.
Sure, sure. I will provide it. Just a second. Okay, I think you have the permission now. Please check.
Yeah, I'm trying. Okay. So what's the screen you're able to see now?
Yes, Amit, we can see your screen.
Yes, yes.
Okay, you are able to see the Microsoft Fabric?
What is Microsoft? Yes.
Okay, hope you are able to see my screen, and there you are able to see Microsoft Fabric. So yes. Microsoft Fabric is, to very simple terms, it seems like integration of technologies, but it's not just an integration of technologies of like, Snaps data warehousing, Snaps engineering, data factories, or Azure data factory, or data science, or Azure Snaps analytics, or real-time analytics and Power BI. It's just not a simple integration. Microsoft has done the ground up work. What they have done is basically they have changed the underlying architecture. Till now, what was happening? You created data lake. They might store data as blobs. They might be storing CSV, any format. Then you create database, let's say Synapse, or maybe Azure SQL, or maybe SQL Server, let's say on-premise or on the cloud. What's happening there? SQL Server is another format. Power BI is its own format.
Yep.
So in these formats, what is happening is that's why these tools are not able to communicate with each other because they have different formats. So what Microsoft has done is all their engines, which are becoming part of the fabric, whether it is Snap data warehousing, whether it is Lake, whether it is Power BI, whether it is the data factory, or whether it is data pipelines, all of them can read and write from one format, which is known as Delta Parquet format. And Delta Parquet is the one common format where all of these technology either can read or can write. Okay. So what happened? You got and then they combined this entire storage and put it at one place. So yes, they what has done is you want to do Lake, it is lying at the same place. It means one-time configuration. What happens if those of you are use Azure, every time you create, let's say, a data lake, you require a set of key verification, authentication. Create data warehouse, another set of authentication. Create Databricks, another set of authentication. Now all these things have one single storage and one single authentication for storage. So you can create a lake, or you create a warehouse, or you create a Power BI data set, which now you don't need to create one, or you write data using the data factory. It's all happening on one place, and it is happening in one place. Now the storage containers have been divided into two parts, lakehouse and warehouses. Now lakehouse is your traditional structured and unstructured data, but structured data is saved in a Delta Parquet format, which can be treated as a table in the Fabric world. Now, why do we need warehouse? Warehouse provides you SQL read and write. Now, understand the SQL word is little bit different from your lake world always. So Delta Lake or Data Lake remained always different from the SQL world because SQL has this, transactional capabilities, which is altogether different. And that is why we have also a very near warehouse kind of an environment, which we call as warehouse. Again, the storage happens on Delta Parquet format, but you can read and write both in both using SQL. Then comes to your CustoDB and dataset. Now, every time you create a warehouse or lakehouse, you get a dataset. Power BI dataset built in. Now, we used to call this, process of BI as a black box. What happens? The moment I take out the data from the sources, unless it comes to a tool, it is not available for end users. Now, Fabric has broken the boundaries. The moment the data lands in a lakehouse as a table, you can see that in Power BI. Means your data analyst, your business user can see what data you have brought in. You transform it, put it back to either lakehouse and warehouse. Again, you can see it in Power BI. Whether you create model or not, you can create a model and again can see it. It means that the visibility into the process has enhanced, and this entire process has been seamlessly integrated, where we are saying one lake, one compute. You can use the one single compute for data warehousing, data lake for data factory, which include data flow gen 2, data pipelines, Power BI, and even real-time analytics, or data science using Spark and Node Spark, and you have notebooks here, which we call PySpark. You can use PySpark, PyR, everything on the notebooks. So this integrated experience have been created. And right now you can get a 60 days trial if you are having a login created on app.powerbi.com. Even if you don't have a license, you will be able to get a 60 days trial capacity. And this is a great time to learn these tools.
Thank you so much, Amit, for explaining in all of this in detail. I do have one question on this one. Like with the implementation of all these technologies, micro fabric into the picture, and like everything available at a one platform, be it data engineering or creating pipelines or data visualization or implementation of AI or ML models within Microsoft Fabric. Do you see any impact in the future of and data analytics? Like, will it also impact our jobs or reduce the compensation somewhere? Like this is one of the questions which has been asked by one of our participants in the chat window. So, what is your thoughts on the
See,
same?
I think it's given us an opportunity to me, it's both opportunity backward and forward. So for as a Power BI engineer, if you're a pure play Power BI engineer, we always encourage you to learn the data transformation, which is primarily going to handle on SQL, or maybe you go ahead and do it with the help of data factory in Lake, or you use combination of those technologies. And on the forward integration, we always used to say learn, Python and do AI, ML and all those. Now there is an integrated platform. It means you have a playground available with you to go into end-to-end cycle.
Yep.
And they have been simplified to an extent where you can learn those things very simply. Like lake experience is really simple. You just create one lake and start experimenting, start putting it your data. Basically, you can create a lake house and start putting it. Similarly, very simple warehouse experience is there. With the basic SQL, you can start and continue to do. Then again, we will have here Copilot coming time. Then you will be able to use the Copilot, and will be able to write complex things out there. So this enhance will actually should enhance your career. You should become a complete end-to-end data engineering expert or data engineer, instead of just being a Power BI developer or just saying, oh, I only know Power BI, I only know DAX or Power Query. So now you are not limited to DAX and Power Query. Will be you have a platform where you have an opportunity to learn both the ends. And it is not one day that you're going to learn everything. It's going to take time. But yes, this integrated platform will teach you everything, because it's at the one place you have the access, and you will be able to learn those things very quickly in an integrated manner.
So with that being said, Amit, since we have now everything under one platform and we have to learn from like since the beginning of like the data implementation, creating data pipelines until the end of data visualization, do you see any abundance of new roles in the Power BI industry? And how
Yes,
much
so
time it actually take for the industry to like really start asking for such people who have experience in both in data engineering and in Power BI as well?
see, there is always something known as Azure Data Engineering. And if I remember, there is a certification also around Azure Data Engineering, which covers these aspects into Azure. So in Azure Data Lake, Azure Data Warehousing, Azure Data Pipelines, Azure Data Flow, Azure, and then Azure Snap Analytics and Power BI Analytics. So these things were available. Now they were at different places, or you have to to buy them separately. Now it is at one place. Now, definitely in some time, maybe down the line, 1 year or 2 year, people might be start asking about fabric engineers. And this what we'll do is, because this integration has come to the Microsoft Fabric, you will see similar kind of integration happening in other places also. You will see integrated end-to-end platforms coming in very soon. Now, Microsoft has taken lead into that one. So there will be soon requirement of people down the line, a year down the line or something, where people will ask, okay, do you know uh, Fabric complete end to end? And I think in that one also, there is certain part where you as a data engineer can put into little bit backend, which is basically the AI part, especially related to Spark and real-time analytics. Now that's something before you complete everything and then you learn that one. But if you are coming from that particular world, let's say you are coming from Databricks world, then it is naturally that you enhance with that, with the uh, experience of data flow gen 2 and data pipeline, and just start learning Power BI. Now, if you're coming from the Azure Synapse world, it is good that you learn first the BI part of the world, data flow and pipelines, and then continue to move on the real-time analytics and this one. If you're coming from the Kusto world, real-time dynamics, start again with the Power BI, then extend on the other arms.
Actually, Amit, we have a lot of participants who are neither from the Azure side, Dataworks side, or from the Coastal side. A lot of people are actually just Power BI developers. Like, how relevant and how important is for them to start really learning or deep diving into all of these things? And when do you think it is the right time for them to learn all these tools?
I
Like,
think
do
right time is right now.
right now,
If you
correct?
ask me, it is right now. When the technology is new, get into the depth of that technology, and before everyone is out, you should be ready.
Right.
So that this is the right time, and a lot of information is available. I think Microsoft publish a blog every month, and I think you can share with your team. Pavel Palinsky from Microsoft, every month he publishes a blog for last couple of months, where he is sharing MVP contribution, which gives you all the blog which all the MVPs across Microsoft are writing around that, videos which they are sharing. So a lot of knowledge is being shared. Now, some of these knowledge would not be really organized like Power BI. Like, if you go for Power BI, you can get a 8 hour, 10 hour, 11 hour videos, like I do have one of them. But in Microsoft Fabric world, you will not get analyzed, because things are developing, and we are also developing videos like that. We try to be pretty organized, but there are features like which is there. But it's the right time. But remember what are the technologies we have to run. We have to learn Power BI. We have to learn SQL. We have to learn data pipelines. We have to learn data flow. All these things we have to learn. Then we have to also learn Python, little bit of Python, because the Spark part of the Python is more related to AI, more related to data transformation or AI. So you can learn that particular part. If you are a really, if you remain a programmer in the past, you will find it easy. And then there is something different, a little bit different skill set is required if you go into real-time analytics, but you can learn that. So I think time has come for a Power BI developer to, enhance their SQL skills. I think data flow Gen 2 is not new to them. It's just
Right.
the Power Query world for you. The
Yes.
data pipelines, if you know data flow Gen 2, you will find, little bit few similarities there, and with those similarities build up. Anytime you face a challenge and there is no video available, think, search how these things are done in Azure pipelines. Most of the things are very similar. You are stuck at, how things work in data flow Gen 2, search how it is done in Power Query. 90% of the things would be same. Only 10% part, which is Azure Fabric specific, would change. Like destination is something which came in
Yes.
data flow Gen 2, but rest everything was there in Power BI, Power Query world, or the data flow world. And similarly, SQL is something which is, most of the T-SQL features would be working here. There are certain limitations, but there are workaround already available. People are doing with those workaround which are not available. And remember, this is an integrated platform. Not everything could be given. And not everything would be available using SQL commands, because integrated platform, you can't give every control in the hand of everyone.
Right.
So within those limitations, Microsoft is going to enable. So light time to go beyond your boundary. And if you are a Power BI developer, good at DAX and Power Query, if not, first improve that. Then add SQL to it. And then add Python and all those things to it. And I think that journeys will be there. There are good amount of content available on all these things, and equivalent of those. If not that technology, equivalent of that technology is available. And I think this is right time to do it. And believe me or not, in our organization, we have started a Fabric team where we are, the developers from various areas. We have hired people from Power BI background, Azure Databricks background, Azure Synapse background, and creating these kind of team, which is end to end, providing them training in houses to make sure that we have these team who understand this platform end to end, from ingestion of data into analytics platform, transformation of it, converting it into the insights, creating analysis or analytics, like AI analytics on that, and or presenting it on finally on the BI tools. Or maybe now you have many things like paginated report, you do have the Excel connector available. There are many ways it's going to come out, and some of these were previously also available with Power BI. So to me, if you ask me, this is the right time, jump into these technologies, enhance your skill set, and make sure that you are able to make a difference in next 6 to 8 months.
Yes, Amit. And we have a few more questions in the chat window. Will the introduction of Fabric replace any of the existing components in the data layer?
No, see, it's basically integration, but means the technology integration has happened. But understand, I think I'm not sure there is a slide for that or not. But so this is a current, this is a typical slide. Let me see if there's one more. So this is typically what happens in, in any of the BI world. That, sorry, I think screen has gone. Okay, let me see. So we have one layer which is, ingestion. So data
Yes.
ingestion layer. Now the data ingestion layer is something which going to bring in the data into the analytics system. So for that, now we have data flow Gen 2, we have data pipelines. We can even bring using the notebooks using Spark, and we can even have the real-time streaming coming in. Now, once you bring in the data, you're going to store it somewhere in your ecosystem. That's where we have lakehouses and warehouses.
Yes.
Now, once that is done, so you land the data into lakehouse and warehouse, and while bringing it itself, you can now there is a data transformation. The data transformation can happen while you bringing in, if you are using data flow Gen 2, or after bringing in using data flow Gen 2, SQL, Spark, notebooks, all these things you can do. Databricks, which is basically you can call for if you understand that word pretty well. So you can do the transformation. Once the transformation is done, again you can store it back into the lakehouses or warehouses. Now you can do analysis on Power BI. Sometime you analyze this data again back into the using the Python plot, your charts and visualizations on that. You can have that, SQL to analyze that data. So that's analysis part. Now you can share it to the other users using paginated report, Power BI reports, or dashboards. And ultimately what it's doing, it's integrated platforms with one CPU, one lake and everything, saving cost for you.
Yes, Amit. And since Microsoft Fabric is actually in preview mode, would you really recommend like a new person or a new company to actually start working on a new project using Microsoft Fabric? Or is there any time that we should wait for, or any duration that we should wait for any certain aspects or any elements in Microsoft Fabric that we are waiting for before suggesting to anyone for like a real industry or real project?
The real projects or the POCs or every companies who related with Microsoft technology, they are already in progress. They are working on these kind of technology, making sure they are what is the fitment for the organization. See, BI projects will not get delayed because of that. And
Right.
based on the feature releases and everything, those things will be taken care. If there is something, there are workaround for doing certain things. Using those workaround things will make work now and then later on will be changed. But as far as the learning aspect is concerned, I think this is the right time. And there is nothing, see, I understand this is all technologies which are already available with you. So if you're learning pipeline, if not Fabric, you learn as your pipeline. You're learning Power BI, you are learning Power BI or Fabric Power BI, that doesn't make any difference. You learn data flow Gen 2, so data flow is already there in Power BI. So it's the same set of technologies which you are learning. So, but the good thing is that that same set of technology is now going to work at one place. So immediately start learning, start doing proof of concept on what kind of needs you have, what kind of things will in place. And if you have a longer run project, you can in fact start, starting, small parts of that and start saying, okay, this is what it is fitting in, this is what it is fitting in. And you can, start rolling out those things as the things progresses.
Yes, Amit, correct. And like creating POCs for testing the POCs, for testing out all the new features. I think it is really important for uh, creating end-to-end solutions for anyone. We do have a few more questions in the chat window. What is the current market scenario for jobs related to Power BI and SQL? How should we approach to land a job in data analytics and visualization domain? I think this is I think Shreyas is actually a fresher, so he would like to know uh, with respect to like being a fresher, what are the right
I
order
think
of Power BI
having good
and
command on Power BI is can get let you a job. Power BI with SQL can let you a job. SQL alone can give you a job. And this is one market which is continue to grow. So, we talked about so many BI tools comes and in. SQL market is something which remain consistent. With the
Yep.
emergence of Fabric, SQL is an integrated part of an integrated platform. And please understand, the doing transformation is SQL is most easiest thing to do. Doing it in any other way. Now, we as a Power BI, we will always claim, okay, data flow Gen 2 can do better job. But remember, such a easy thing which we have in our hand, the programming, SQL, we can do lot much easier transformation. We can do lot many things. And now with the combination of data flow and SQL, it created really a great combination to have in hand. So my advice would be get a command on that. There are a lot of videos available on my channel or expert channel. I already given you the links. In fact, in my channel, I even have a series. Once you complete the basics of that, you can learn the advanced stuff and continue to. There is an abstract thesis series in the playlist, which is for the advanced Power BI user. So there are 100 odd cases where you can learn each and every use case how to solve those. Okay, so you can start if you are a new one, you can start with that 11-hour video. Then you go to the beginner series and watch as your pace, and go to the advanced series and look at the concept which are still missing out doing that and how the things solve. So you will see how to do HR analytics, you will see how to do ABC analysis and all those problems which comes in. Quite a few videos are available in Hindi for the Hindi audience, and
Yes.
that's the primarily two languages which I know, Hindi and English. So you will do see those things. A lot of content is available, and if whenever people ask on request, I do create videos on new content. SQL 20 videos are available. You can learn from those 20 videos. If you need more, you just ping me on YouTube or LinkedIn, wherever you are connected with me, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. Typically, I have a page where I keep on posting. So you can connect with me and ask for that. And wherever I am available, I'll try to answer those questions. Uh, so I think you can start your journey with Power BI, SQL, and continue to enhance on that on the other Fabric features. And these are all industry standard technology. In other technologies or other clouds also, you will get similar things. So we have pipelines, other cloud will also have very similar pipeline. Here we have Azure Data Lake or Lakehouse, other cloud will also have Lakehouse. Here you have Azure Databricks, which is working on Python. Other technology, other clouds will also have very similar things. The only things come in when you go versus Power BI versus Tableau. And I do have a tip series on that. Let's say organization right now, the migration is only quite a few migration happening from Power BI to Tableau. There could be a reverse also, which is possible. But yes, once you understand the concept well, you will be able to migrate to different world.
Uh, Thank you so much, Amit, for sharing another useful information with us. Since we are talking about a YouTube channel, if someone were to learn from your YouTube channel, what is the right order of learning it? Like which one should really like a fresh or someone who is
I'll give you one link. Basically, this is a course which I've created by reorganizing 370s video of my channel. And thanks to a platform known as Graphy, which allows you to do that. And if you are a content creator, I think you should also go ahead and explore that. So I have already organized all these videos. Now, the only thing which you have to do is you have to pick up one platform, because I have kept Microsoft Fabric as the first one, but you might be a Power BI guy. Want to enhance Power BI, then start Power BI, complete Power BI, start SQL, complete SQL, and then go ahead and start Fabric. So while the course puts Fabric on the top, but you put Fabric at the last, because if you're a Power BI or SQL guy, you can do that. So let me share that link with you and you can get it. And any other one who even don't want for that course, I think the 11-hour video is the something which you should start. If you're already aware of all the basic concepts, and that has 50 chapters actually, you can jump around the chapter. And I have tried, I actually I could have created 100 chapter, but YouTube allows only 50 maximum chapters. So those 50 chapters you can jump around and learn on your own pace. And then I'm giving you the all the links here, all the important series links which are available, and you can try out your own pace. Not sure the second one has came, just hold on, just give me a second. So these are the playlist, and typically so in the same order, means at least for the English one, uh, complete Power BI, the 11-hour mastering Power BI. You can jump around because few concepts are already expertise. Again, uh, you can jump around. But typically, if you are starting with the mastering Power BI series or beginner, then continue at least for 50 videos. Expertise, you can jump around and see. DAX versus SQL, if you are something who knows DAX or knows SQL and wanted to know how the translation happened, that's for you. Coming from Tableau world to Power BI world, Tableau versus Power BI, another 30 video. Direct query is another one thing which is there, another 10, 12 videos are there. For the Hindi users, 60 videos are there. Concepts of business intelligence, I think if in case you need, but these are all covered in the 11-hour videos also. SQL, for the SQL guys, 20 videos. Only Tableau in Hindi. Power BI Hindi on demand. Whenever users ask for some videos on Power BI, I do have that. And then we have the Power Query functions and Power Query date time and Power Query list function. These are all already existing in the beginner series, but I have actually put them separately also list, because if you are only looking for Power Query set of functions, you can go ahead and watch those lists instead of searching around those. So you will get all those things on the channel you can get. And I think also you can go ahead. There is another channel which is known as Kerbal, where you get a lot of information about Power Query function. A lot of beautiful videos are there. You can watch Guy in a Cube, another channel where you have a lot of organized videos. Then we have Chandeep's videos which are there. Then we have Pawan Lalwani, who has done a lot of great content on Power BI. And there are many other folks, how to do Power BI and all those things are there. So you can go ahead, go ahead and watch those, whatever channel you like in. So you have a lot of variety which is available. So look at that bookmark, Power BI, which one I shared first. Find out which tutor which you are able to understand, best, and continue with this channel, continue with the series which they have created in a particular manner, and you can continue with that particular one, and then you can jump around. Once you start understanding it a little bit better, then you can jump around to the other uh, you know creators to see their content. So choose a content creator who's you're able to understand as of now, learn most of the things from them, and then jump around various places.
Thank you, Amit, for again like for sharing all of these links. I think these are really very helpful. People you talked about Guy and Cube and including yourself also. Like these people have done a lot of contribution on the Power BI side and the data analytics side. Uh, uh, what are your thoughts on like getting trained by someone live and not by like watching all the videos? What are your thoughts on like how relevant it is to learn from someone and how
See,
uh,
I keep on organizing the live classes, and I do believe there is a different kind of relationship which you create when you do these things on, one-on-one, where people can ask the question and doubt. See, definitely, if everything could have been taught on YouTube, there would have been no colleges. Okay,
right?
or everything would have been recorded by that now. But there is a human touch. Now there are online classes which is a different flavor, and then there are offline classes which is a different flavor. Now,
Yes,
whenever time permits, I keep on. So just keep an eye on my LinkedIn posts, and I do keep on posting free webinars. I even done, some 6 hour sessions, free 4 hour sessions live, and there could be, some paid things coming out in future. So just keep an eye on what my LinkedIn post. Follow me at places. I do have some channels created on Telegram and this one. So you can join me on there if you continue to watch updates and new video posts. I also keep on doing there whenever I have. And I'm pretty much reachable on LinkedIn, preferably. I means if you ping me on, I know people ping me on Instagram and Facebook, and sometime, those are the channels where I only go once in a while, and they also are set up in such a manner that they don't throw me the pop-ups when there's some new messages comes in. So LinkedIn is the best way to reach to me in case you have some questions and you want to ask to me. But yes, sometime what happens, we are too busy in our own stuff. We do have so many. We are working on the organizations, and we do have our own life works to do. So we might not get at the right time, but definitely. But I think for the Power BI, anytime you have a problem and you want to get an answer, my first advice would be go to community.powerbi.com. Please ask. There are a lot of experts are available there, and those experts will definitely help you out. Pretty helpful community. People will provide you not only solutions, appropriate videos, links, and please understand then there might be some time when you go and you don't get some correct answer, because understand one thing, unless a problem has been explained really well and if there is a solution which is available, people will be able to help out. Sometimes people like you also go and try out and attempt the problem. So it's a community. Everybody there are people who trying to help you out. They're also learning. So you need to be a little bit patient about that, because right answer will come. Just try to, put it into best possible explanatory manner. Don't try to make it too long or too short, and just give the problem. There is a blog by Greg there itself. When you go to the desktop community, that how to post a problem, just read that out and then try to get that. You will definitely get help on that. So pretty helpful community, Power BI. If you ask me, if you have a problem, if you have a challenge, that's solvable, you will get help.
Amit, we have already passed the time, but we have like one last question from Saurabh Munda. He's currently working as a SQL and SSIS role with 5 years of experience and want to switch into data analytics. He basically wants a roadmap to start and will it be possible for an experienced professional to transform a career as he's aspiring for?
I think SSIS, you have a uh, natural way to go next step as a Power BI, because you know DAX pretty well, because if you're working on SSIS, modeling is same, RLS is almost very similar. So for you, Power BI is a natural extension, and you know SQL, what else you need? So for you, this is the right time. Go ahead and watch the Power BI course and enhance your Power BI and SQL. You know almost everything which is needed to become a fabric engineer, if you ask me. So for you, this is the brightest time to, get enhance your journey and become a fabric engineer. And so that's good there. I will take up another question which few of you are pinging about Power App and Power Automate and Power Virtual Agent. I'm not an expert on that. I only have done a couple of videos, but Mohammad Adnan is one of the Indian Power BI community super user, and he is now MVP now. He's MVP for last couple of years, I think, or more than that. And he has quite a good videos on both these things. So please follow his videos and series on follow his channel. He does it. There are other users are also available, and I'll try to share some of those links also. But a lot of contents available from again from the community there, Power Automate and everything. And and I'll share some link again on the with the Arun, and Arun can further share it back with the community where a lot of content is available on that.
And I do have one news. Like I have been reaching out to the people like Raza Durani, Shane Young. I think I will be able to onboard one of our another mentor like for another session on Power Apps and Power Automate. So please stay with us. And okay, I see one more question. Amit, there is like I think you got a one fan in the chat window. He's asking like, how do you manage so many things on LinkedIn, YouTube, Telegram, uh, and other social media platforms, keeping yourself updated, making courses while doing your job?
I think this is I told you that I done a startup and then I came out and then I came out with a you think about after 15 years of your career you're working with your own set of technologies, your own set of tools. You come out and then you have to learn new things. And I'm grateful that I got a really great manager, Bhupen Chopra, who and when I started this Power BI journey and started I told him that I wanted to contribute to community and wanted to start a YouTube channel and he gave me one. He said, Amit, if whatever you wanted to do it consistently.
Yes.
Don't do it for a day or two and come up. If you want to serve community, do it continuously. You want a YouTube channel, do it continuously. You want to post same thing on LinkedIn, do it continuously. So and that's the one piece of advice I always keep in mind. And most of the time, other than then when I'm in long vacation or traveling, when I'm not there, I'm try that at least I post one or two videos and then I repost them on the LinkedIn or Twitter or somewhere so the people get aware of those things. And I think this is something which will require consistency. So whether you're learning Power BI, if you don't learn it consistently, you don't run it on regular basis, you will you will forget it. And my learning way was go and solve problems daily on community. Go solve problem, go solve problem, go solve problem. You will learn something new. That was my mantra, and I have stick to that. Create new videos. See, I might not be knowing everything, but when I come across a new feature, I have to go and learn it. Then I have to find out sometime a use case, how to going to implement it. So it is it's also create a learning for me. So just don't think I'm creating a video for other learning. I'm creating a video because I also want to learn that feature. So I will learn that feature. I will go back and record it. And sometime that I'll feel after recording, no, it need to be done in different manner. I'll go ahead and do it in different manner. And sometimes you people ask a lot of good questions on YouTube and keep on asking that is encouragement for us when you ask, okay, do this thing. So I remember when I done the video on Microsoft Fabric, somebody asked me and say, you are not saving the warehouse on the lake house. What I was doing, I was bringing the local data from the local database and pinging it onto the uh, data warehouse on the Microsoft Fabric. He said, why not on lake? And
Yes.
I have not done any example on lake. I said, wow, this is a good thing. I went back and tried. It took a couple of days to crack that problem itself because see, Fabric itself is new. Fabric APIs are new,
Yes.
and good thing it is in public preview so that I can ask few people help me how to use APIs. And I'm not a expert at the REST APIs and everything. I also need to go back and learn how to do these things on Python and everything. But it given a good opportunity for me to think about that, and I'm able to do it. Similarly, there are a few more videos that have been asked, like ABC analysis. People were asking for quite some time, and I was not happy with the solutions which were around. So finally, when Windows function came in and I tried out few combination, I just said, okay, this is it. This is going to make it easy. Few lines of solution. There could not be a easier solution like that. So
Yes.
it's a learning. So if you want to do any of these things, please remember consistency is the key. Whether it's a learning, whether you want to become a YouTuber or you want to become a blogger, consistency is going to be the key. Please remain consistent on whatever you are doing.
Yes, Amrita, like if we keep the consistency part there and if we keep practicing also, a lot of things actually comes naturally to us. Like when we are learning SQL, a lot of new optimizing the different SQL queries will actually naturally come to us because we are practicing it on a daily basis or a weekly basis. I agree on that. Amit, we have actually passed the time and we would not want you to like be late for your next call because you were actually available for 1 hour. Uh, I would like to thank you so much and for joining us and answering all our questions in the chat window. Our participants are were also very happy. I have received a lot of messages on my WhatsApp thanking you for joining us in the session.
Thanks for inviting me. It was a pleasure speaking with you all on a Sunday morning, and I hope you are able to get some information which you are looking forward from me. Feel free to ping me on various social media platform where I'm available, and would like to connect you back sometime later. Thank you all.
Thank you, Amit. And I would also like to thank you, the participants, for joining us in the session and raising relevant questions. I hope that this was a very good session and you were able to gain some information and knowledge from our side.